So Netflix is in trouble again with this movie Kate that they just released. I think this just came out like last week. It's not that old. Basically looks like Crank. If you've never seen that, that's actually a really good movie. It's basically your standard Jason Statham movie, fast-paced action. It's exactly what Kate is trying to do, except unlike that movie, with Jason, this movie stars a 90-pound woman taking down 200-pound men, which is, the standard. That's usually how it works. So a woman of that stature can usually one-punch men. Sure. Basically, the movie's not going over very well. You can kind of get an idea from this that it's basically Jason Statham's Crank. It's being accused of just being not original. I'm surprised. I really am surprised that critics are giving this movie a hard time for the main reason that it stars a strong woman. And usually when that happens, they'll throw plot, dialogue, all that in the garbage, and they'll say, okay, well, it's progressive. We got to find reasons to give it a good score. But maybe because there's so many movies with this formula now, that they're finally being honest sometimes. One of the few times, by the way, that critics and audiences agree that the movie is trash. Very, 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 very rare nowadays. But anyway, check this out. I found some people complaining about this movie. No one's getting a break on this. You have this right here from Salon. Netflix's Tokyo set action flick Kate tries to critique imperialism by ultimately relying on it. And then there's this one. You can see white women on Twitter don't like it. Kate was accused of anti-Asian violence. Now it's Netflix's #1 movie. Is the thriller's twist enough to redeem it? So you have a white woman going around in Japan, basically, taking down Asian people. Naturally, this isn't going to go very well on Twitter. You're not allowed to make a movie like this. Bad guys must always be of the Caucasian color, or you're going to have a problem. Naturally, Twitter did not like this at all, and they are going after the movie. Netflix thought they were being progressive. Oh, no. You still rely on imperialism, apparently, and you can't have this lady going around beat people up in Japan.
How dare you?
By the way, speaking of Japan, what do they think about the movie? Well, they don't like it at all. They think the movie is a pile of shit.
What a story, Mark.
And considering that they actually want to grab this market, this is nothing short of yet another Netflix disaster and something for us to laugh at. So let's take a look at what they're saying about Kate, because some of these are rather funny in the Japanese polite way. So these are all critics from Japan. Okay. This is their media. You also have some reviewers, like regular people. They have some of their quotes, but let's just go through a couple of these. From Cinema Drake, Kate's concept does closely resemble Quentin Tarantino's 2003 film Kill Bill, but here is a movie that clearly displays the lack of progression in the depiction of Japan over the last 18 years. This is truly a Japanese stereotype extravaganza as sought up by a foreigner. This review, to be fair, likes it right here, saying they enjoyed the blend of the Japanese and Western styles. A Movie Today, too, gives it a 3 out of 10, though. Half-baked spy action. When Japan appears in Hollywood movies, it quickly becomes cyberpunk. It's as though a bit of Blade Runner had been added to reality, and this type of movie is already on the way of becoming a genre called Wrong About Japan. Here's another one. critiquing the way the radiation is used in the movie. The first problem I had was that it doesn't seem like touching a person who has been exposed to radiation exposes one to radiation, because Kate, who has been exposed to radiation, physically touches a number of people, and they don't seem to get exposed for the time being. However, what's puzzling is what would happen if all of the blood and whatnot that's getting all over the place, all the Japanese music that was picked for the film, was just an awful choice. The music in the movie is so effing uncool. The reason that the radiation is a big thing here, in case you don't know, is Japan's had to deal with this kind of stuff quite a bit after World War II with the bombs that were dropped on them. And also, don't forget when Fukushima melted down. So they've had a few experiences with dealing with this stuff. So they're going to like naturally take a big look at that. So I think that that's worth pointing out. Here's something from ega.com. This is an average user review. So these are all user reviews right here. I'm guessing this is like Rotten Tomatoes, would be my guess. Looking at this, you get the feeling that Japan hasn't changed in the past 20 years. Here's another one. This is nothing more than foreigners' delusions of Japan's underworld society and underground culture. There is zero character depth. Then there's a couple of reviews liking it. Like this one says it felt like an anime brought to life, recommended to those who like John Wick style action. This one says this movie is how Japan is seen by foreign countries. There are a lot of movies set in Tokyo made by foreigners, but I wonder if there aren't better places. The story wasn't so complicated and easy to understand. It was pretty interesting. The action was also cool. Then you've got this one. Tokyo is the setting, and I'm glad there was on-location photography in Tokyo. And then there's one more scathing review right here before we end the video. This was like Blade Runner meets Tokyo Drift meets The Professional. It's a movie that goes along with the developments and elements you've seen before. And they give it a 2 out of 5. That actually sound kind of nice. And then you see they really didn't care for it too much. So some more forgiving reviews down there, but for the most part, it doesn't seem like they care for it. And given that they're trying to break into this country, it looks like they're going to have to try a little bit harder. Number one, the woke stuff's not going to fly over there. They don't like that stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if their original programming will be welcomed over there at all. Be something to look at. But like I say, woke white Twitter, they don't like it either. And critics and audiences seem to agree that the movie is shit. So yet another disaster for Netflix. I would love to see Netflix just hit rock bottom. So, that way they wouldn't have a choice. Cuties would have to go away because that platform would go away itself. I would imagine, though, that won't completely happen because someone will buy Netflix and take in their catalog. But at least bad decisions will lead to, bad outcomes. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.